Hey guys, what's going on? Eric here, bringing you guys some more D2 content. In today's video, we're going to finally showcase my Rathma Assassin. I'm going to talk about prices, I'll go over the gear, the charms, the stats, the skills, all that fun stuff, and then we will run a T2 Rathma. I actually haven't played at all today, so we're going to go into this cold. We'll see what happens. If I am successful, it will be my 10th kill. I actually lost a little bit of motivation to grind these out because I found a cage on my 3rd kill, and I actually found an almanac on my 4th kill, so the only place to go is down from there. But let's get started. Starting off with the claw, this is the same claw I had on my mapper, so I do switch this between the 2 assassins. Just to note, this is a 2nd assassin. Actually built this in first, built the mapper one, and then converted my original sin of the season into my Rathma version. It's just one more level higher, so I get just one more skill point and a little bit more stats. But this thing is insane. There was an assassin who completed an achievement. I checked out his armory. He had the claw I wanted. I offered to mirror it for 10 high runes, and he obliged. So this thing is sick. Got this relatively early. It was expensive at the time. I got these for 8.0. You can get 20 to 25 Deadly Strike Grave Palms relatively easy in a reasonable price range, but it's really hard to get high damage and attack rating to undead in conjunction with that high DS, so these things are great. They look so clean. I don't remember if I bought this or found it. It wasn't too expensive. I am technically one off from 90 cold, but I'm short like a couple cold res, so I couldn't hit 90 anyways. I do have some other swaps that I will go over as I talk about the gear. Moving on to the belt, I was in a bidding war. This had like a time for the auction to end, and I ended up bidding back and forth, and I ended up getting this for 16 high runes, and it wiped me out. I had no high runes at the time, but I knew it was a good investment. It's really hard to get a really good Rathma belt, and I knew from previous experience that I was going to be able to get a 10 high rune mirror fee. So in the end, I technically got this for 6 high runes. I really wish it had fire res, kind of like Rustin's belt. I'm really jealous of the one that he has, but this gets the job done. This thing is sick. Moving on to my PLR ring. I got this for an ist. I really wish mana was something else, all res or cold res. Then this would be truly endgame. But it's the most life and stats that I could get with high fire res and PLR and attack rating, so this thing is great. These boots are stupid. I originally had 55 life ones that I got for 1.0. These popped up for 8, and I'm like, they're one off perfect. So I spent 7 high runes more to get 9 more life. That's the level of min-maxing that I'm at on this build. This armor is sick. I've been using a bunch of different filters to find something. I was originally putting in life, and I was missing out on some things. This has life based on character level. So I took off life, and I was exposed to a lot of different builds that had really useful stats, because I was originally trying to get strength in life. Anyways, so I was able to snag this. A lot of people are going after 75 PLR armor, so they're able to use Ravens, but because I get CBF on my Ami, I only needed 50 PLR, which opened this armor up to me, and this thing, everything's useful. It's insane, honestly. If the fire res was all res, it would be mirror worthy. But what's funny is I like the red on my armor and the horns of my helm, so I probably wouldn't even post it up to get it mirrored because I really like the color. But this thing's great. Moving on to the helm, I bought this for a goal, and I boxed it myself. I am hitting 90 fire, and I think technically 89 cold. This gets the job done. I'm going to show a couple gear swaps when I get a little bit more res. I'm going to be able to get a lot more life with a 16% life Andy, but we'll get to that. Moving on to the amulet, this was either posted up for like 45, or it was technically an auction, and it had a timestamp saying like this auction's going to end, whatever. So I was waiting I didn't want to bump up the price, and then the person ended up closing the auction a day early, and I'm like, shit, well, who'd you sell it to? A message, it ended up being Clap or HC Savage. That dude's sick, and he allowed me to mirror it for 10 high runes. Again, I was going to pay pretty much whatever for that amulet because I knew I was going to get some high runes back with the mirror fee. That's just the case with certain Rathma amulets and belts. They're always going to get mirrored. And to note, the previous amulet I got, I had mirrored as well. It had ED, so it did more damage, but this had stats, the other one didn't, and then obviously the CBF is really great to free up some build options. Moving on to the offhand, this thing's great. We got 3 to weapon block, 3 to Blade Sentinel, and the level of cleansing doesn't really matter. You only need the cleansing frees up. You don't have to do 33 stacked res, you only need to do 29 stacked res. But you can either do 3 weapon block and get 1 more % to weapon block, going from 50 to 51%, or you can get mastering and get like 1 or 2 more critical strike. So whichever you prefer. Moving on to the switch, CTAs were really stupid at the time that I was trying to get this. I was tired of switching CTAs between my characters, so I'm like, all right, I need to get another CTA. And at the time, they were all gone off the trade site, and I was messaging people in the chat. No one was wanting to trade. And then somebody posted one up for 40 Hirons, and then 2 people followed suit. So the only 6/6 CTAs on the site were 3 of them going for 40 Hirons, which honestly broke the market for a while. And I'm like, shit, finally, I was trying to pay for 7 or 10 Hirons. I went to 12, and eventually I got one for 15 Hirons. And then like a day or 2 later, the prices went back down to 7 to 10 Hirons, so that was really stupid. But yeah, paid 15 for this, and it is what it is. I got another +3 lidless as well. Bought this for 20 Hirons and boxed it myself. We got 2 holes on it, which is super sick. And I do have a foul run in there for the strength to counterbalance the strength that I'm getting from my plague. Moving on to the torch. I found this. Super happy to say that. That was pretty sick. And what did I pay for this? I paid like 2 or 3 Hirons for the Annie. And it is what it is. I could get 2 more vitality. I think if I switch out some charms, I almost bought an 85 vit one. But we'll worry about that later. We're breaking 3,900 life, which is insane. These are the same charms that I used on my mapper setup. What was it? What did I pay for these? 6, 10, 14, and then it was like 9, 4, and 3.5. I actually have another set, and I swapped these out with my mapper setup. I have like 3 or 4 43 lifers and 1 more 44 lifer. So I need 1 or 2 more charms, and I won't have to swap these around. But in terms of small charms, I'm definitely going to keep having to swap 25 SCs. Those things are still super expensive. Plus, they're hard to come by. I have a bunch of 2011s, some fires and colds. These all cost between 1 and 2 Hirons. All of these came from my other assassin as well, and then I forget what I paid for the 18.4 and the 19.5, but they're like half or a third the price of 5 res charms. We'll talk about, let's do the extended stats. Because I have cleansing, 15 to 17 frees up for all res, so I didn't have to stack that high. I need 2 more cold, but again, I don't have 3 to max cold and natures, so 119 is all you need. I was going to show my other gear swaps real quick. So we got a 16%, and then we've got, I think I paid 5 Hirons for this, by the way, and then we've got a max. This one's a perfect, and then we can pop in some attack rating for fire res, and then we've got, we're hitting what we need to hit, right? But I ended up losing like 1,500 attack rating, and I lost like 1,000 damage. But let's go battle order with this setup. This thing's insane. Yeah, 4,230 life with this setup. We got 8,200 attack rating, but we are not hitting max cold or max fire. So I don't know if, what is it? I don't know if 300 more life is better. I haven't really practiced this yet. You guys be the judge. Leave a comment if you have more experience with this. So I'm going to switch this back. We'll look at what I normally have. Resummon this. With this setup, we have 3,906 life, 12 to 13k. We have 9,400 attack rating. Again, moving back here, we do have, what is it, 75 plus 50 plus 25 plus 25. We got 175 PLR, plus the cleansing gives PLR as well. Moving on to the skills, we are Blade Sentinel, so we've got Blade Sentinel and its 2 synergies. We didn't have to put any points into Dragonflight, which is nice. And because we're not doing Shadow Warrior, everything extra is going into Burst of Speed. We are hitting 9 frames, so we're like technically overcapped, which is great for dealing with Decrepify. I'm actually not sure what my frame is when I am Decrepified. I'll have to look at that later. But we are hitting 51% parry, which is great, and the critical strike is 22%. Is that everything? Is that everything? Are we going to go do this? Let's put these back in here. Let's lock our items. Okay. Again, I haven't played today. This is gonna be rough. I honestly use a lot of juves. I still haven't perfected this build compared to I have a ton of experience on my charger, but the assassin, it's still pretty rough. And as you guys notice, I have like 32 light res. You don't need any, but man, if there are a lot of souls in between phase 1 and phase 2, or phase 2 and phase 3, man, they do hit pretty hard. So that's usually the only time I'll have to like pot, or if I get hit by a ton. Technically, I have enough juves already. I'm gonna kill most of these anyways. That'll make the video longer, but whatever. If I get good RNG and I'm paying attention, I can usually do phase 1 with a single belt. Sheesh. Alright. I think technically your burst of speed and your blade shield would transfer over, but I usually just recast it out of habit. I like to get really close to Mendelin, and so when the blade sentinels explode, everything just kind of stacks on top of him. So we're going to get close to him most of the fight, and then just dodge the cold towers. Whoa there, buddy. Whoa there, buddy. Ideally, you want to get to him really quick and damage as soon as possible, so so he doesn't move. 4, 5. Usually 5 is enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There we go. See if we have to juve or antidote. I have antidotes in my inventory because I typically don't always have to antidote. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Three, 4, 5. The other thing that's really annoying about Blade Sentinel is that, like, if I'm just like holding down and not paying attention and not realizing the angle that my Blade Sentinels are coming out, they don't always go like 1 for 1 the angle of where your cursor is. Sometimes you'll click and then it'll go like a different angle, and that if you're not paying attention, you could be sitting there and you're like not hitting that whole time. You could technically go all the way over here and then have him chase you. Sometimes I don't always take the time to do that because you can still dodge pretty easily. But doing it this way, you're able to dodge all of the other cold towers. If I don't have enough in my inventory to fill my cube, sometimes I'll just like take the belt off, make sure I relock it. All right, count to 16, double check. All right, there we go. We don't need any antidotes for the next phase. Other people who have bossed before, tell me if I'm crazy. I swear the summoners in here, I swear that they didn't actually summon people in previous seasons. Even I'm not sure how the Nature's Peace works on here, to be honest. I thought that when you're wearing it, they couldn't resummon skeletons that you killed, but I don't know why they seem very actively summoning. Maybe I just killed that quick with a charger before they could actually resummon. This is really low density. Luckily, I had a lot of jubes to begin with. I think I've only had it one time this season where I was technically one juve short from maxing out, where the monster density was just so low, and I think I did really poorly in the previous phase. So I used so many juves. But honestly, if you have 0 juves coming into this fight from phase 1, you usually should be able to fill your belt, fill your cube, and still max out your inventory. Alright, so in previous fights, in previous seasons with the charger, for phase 2, I like to keep my inventory up the whole time. This one's really nice, this build, because you just cast and walk away. So for phase 2, I still, or now I keep the inventory closed. I go back and forth for phase 3, but I'm gonna try going into this with my inventory closed, which is typically what you do. Just listen for the attack. Yeah, that was a silent one there. Cast, move, that is the name of the game. For the phase 1, there is no physical one, but for wave 2 and wave 3, you kill down the purple one. Whew, that was a little ugly. There we go. Sometimes I'm just lazy and I'll stand in the fire. It is what it is. Right when they spawn them, they are all going to attack. So you never want to get into the fight right away. You want to just move, be safe. Am I crazy? I swear these skeletons have like insane defense or something. Or maybe like I'm not paying attention to the angle that I'm hitting them at. But I swear sometimes I have a really hard time hitting the skeletons. Obviously the ones that spawn off screen are really hard to hit. There we go. Find the purple one. Ooh. Oof. We're not hitting them. There we go. Sometimes I take the time to kill the skeletons, sometimes I don't. Like I said, I feel like I don't hit them very well sometimes. The other note I wanted to note is that try not to use up your jubes all in one column, because once you start to add jubes back to your belt using like the shift click, it's going to fill up all the columns that have jubes in them already. So if I were to try to get jubes here, you have to fill 1, 2, 3, 4 before you start adding to the empty column. But that wasn't too bad. We'll move these over. We are going to add the antidotes. I didn't end up having to utilize any antidotes for phase 1. And then I like to keep one extra one just in case I accidentally misclick in the belt. So we did pretty good in phase 2. I think for the video, I am going to do phase 3 with my inventory up. I'm not skilled at the fight just yet. And that's just what I feel more comfortable doing rather than worrying about bringing the inventory back up. Especially if I'm making mistakes, phasing both of them at the same time, and I'm just burning through jubes. I like to be able to just get more jubes quickly. So this might not be the prettiest phase 3. What do you need? Need 11 more. All right. Go find the portal. If you are lower level and like let's say like 90 to 95, it might be worth trying to kill monsters in this area that has really good experience. At this point, I'm level 96, and if I die, it's really hard to get back. So I would say before... What am I trying to say? If you are comfortable and you're not dying, killing these monsters is really good experience, but I intend on dying every now and then, regardless of my ability and skills, whatever. Sometimes the RNG just is what it is and you die sometimes. So if you do want to level, I would say stop with the Rathma fight and level outside of this. But if you are really skilled at the fight, this is a good place to level. All right, dude. And see, like, I feel like my sentinels were not hitting. All right, we are going to, yeah, we'll do the we'll leave the inventory up. I do not bring it up until I'm in there after I battle order, just to make sure that Rathma or Mendelin don't attack before I can battle order. So we'll battle orders and then bring the inventory up. Make sure your stuff is locked. Here we go. He attacked me first. Cool. Bad start. I'm gonna try to hit Mendelin first. I want to phase him first, but it's really hard to isolate him. All right, we'll kill the skeleton. He should be phasing. Yeah, there we go. All right. In a perfect world, you would be close to Mendelin to prevent yourself from getting sludged. You want to be inside the ring. Where? See, that's the other downside. Okay, I thought I killed everyone. I was like, where the hell is he? See, I don't understand the phasing, if I'm being honest. I keep phasing Rathma first. Jeez, that was ugly. Ugh, die. There we go. We're all clumped up, which is looking good, but still messing up the phasing. Oof, that's ugly. Oof. One more. Alright, let's get the juves in the belt. Now they're stacked. All right, drop an item. I'll take an item, please. All right, whatever. Good enough. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment. If you guys want to see more from me, subscribe to the channel. All right, bye.